Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Naveen Kaur and today we are going to cover some introductory topics on programming in Python. So first of all, as I have already discussed it with you, that it was written by Guido van Rossum. So he was a Dutch programmer and he was actually sitting idle in 1989 December during the Christmas break, and he thought of developing a language which is comparatively easy and anyone can understand it quite fast. Okay, so at that time he started developing this, and he was also watching one TV series that was Monty Python's Flying Circus. That was his favorite TV series. We people also watch TV series. We watch here. So formally, what is mentioned that he started working in 1990. Okay, although he started working on Python in 1989 December, but you will mostly see that he started working in 1990. Okay, and the first official release of Python came into market in 1991, and that was 1.0 version. And after that, every 2, 3, or 4 months they are releasing new versions. So the current version that we people are working on, it is 3.9.6, and they are still not stopping. Every month or every 2 to 3 months they are releasing new versions, new releases are there. And why they are doing so? Because in the previous versions there are some errors that are being reported. They try to remove those bugs, those errors, and came up with a new version. Okay, a version which they think that is actually error free. Okay, so that's why here it is mentioned that minor number releases every 6 months. Okay, so every 6 months they have a new release, and sometimes they don't even wait for 6 months. They have a new release in 2 months. Okay, so 6 months is not a fixed rule that they are releasing it in a 6 month. Okay, so I have already discussed some features of Python, that it is very simple. Although the syntax of Python is very simple, but you can't say that it is simple and it is not doing the same thing that C or C++ is doing. No, it is simple yet powerful like C and C++. And it is also portable. So portable means that it is actually operating system independent. You can run it on any operating system. Okay, it's not like you can run it on Windows only. You can work on Linux or Unix. So even then, that operating systems also support your Python. Okay, so readability is very important. So what do you mean by readability here? That if you read a syntax and you are able to understand it, okay, and it means its readability is good. On the other hand, you are reading something, you are reading a line and you don't get it, there is no understanding of that line, it means it has poor readability. But Python's syntax is so simple that anyone who is reading the syntax, he will get the idea. Okay, This syntax is about if. This syntax is about else. This syntax is about for loop. This syntax is about while loop. Okay, a class has been declared. Okay, a class has been defined. So merely by looking at the syntax, you will get the idea, okay, what this syntax is all about. After that, there is vast support of libraries. Now, by vast means great. There are large, you can also say large. There are large number of libraries that are being supported by your Python, right? So by libraries, I mean, I will give you simple example, as in C and C++, math.h is a library. Similarly, there are so many libraries that are being supported by your Python. Okay, software integration. Now integration means if you join two things. Okay, so integration here, I mean that generally Python is a programming language, but now it is being used by so many website development people that they combine Python with the web development. Okay, so in the web development, they are creating websites, and side by side, they are also implementing Python in it to give the logic. Okay, sometimes you visit to a website and you see that a thing prompts. There is a thing that is coming on the website. You are 1,02,000 visitors. They tell you that you are the 1,02,000 visitors. It means before you, these much visitors are there. So it means it's a logical thing. Every visit to the website, they are counting. So where there is a logic, they need any coding language. So it means you can integrate Python with other website development tools. Okay, it is not a standalone software that is working alone. You can combine it with other softwares to develop big applications, to develop big projects. Okay, so after that, there is a developer productivity. Now, who is the developer? I am the developer. Okay, if I am developing a code, I am a developer. If you are creating a code, you are a developer. So programmer or developer means the same thing. And what do you mean by productivity here? Productivity means if you are able to achieve something. Okay, you are putting your effort in Python and you are able to learn it. It means this is productive session. I am doing this session with you. I am explaining Python to you. And after this class, if you get a better understanding of Python, I will say that my class was a productive class. But if you people are not able to understand anything out of my class, out of my explanation, you can say this class is not at all productive. Okay, so I have explained these two words to you separately. Now, in total, what these words mean? Developer productivity means the programmer who is creating the Python code, he will get productive output. Why he will get productive output? First reason, he is spending less time to write the code. If the same developer is writing the code in C or C++, then he will spend maybe the whole day to write a code of 1,000 lines. So if you are spending the whole day to write 1,000 lines, it means you are not productive. On the other hand, if the same code is written in Python in 10 lines, so developer's time is saved, his effort is also saved, and he will not get tired. So it means everything will go fast and developer will feel that, okay, wow, this is a productive way. Okay, my time has saved, my effort has saved, and I am not tired. So this is actually a productive code I am writing. So actually Python is allowing the developer to be productive. So after that, the question is why the name Python? Okay, so a very quick recap that the principal author, the person who is creating Python is the principal author. Okay, that is Guido van Rossum. He chose the name Python because he is a big fan of the British comedy movie that is Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay, at the time when he developed this language, he was side by side watching this movie, and it was his favorite movie, and he got inspired, and that's why he chose the name Python for his language. Okay, so this is the history. Okay, and why we call it author? So any person who is writing a book, he is the author of that book. Okay, similarly, if any person is developing a language, even then you will refer to that person as the author of that language, right? So author doesn't mean a person who is writing a book. Author also means a person who is developing and writing a new programming language. So principal means the main author. Although there are so many people, when you develop a language, it is not a single man's work. Okay, you always need company. There are so many people that you need that will work with you. Okay, even when you are writing a book, you will only give the script. There will be a person who will type it for you. Okay, there will be a person who will do the spelling check for you. There will be a person who will do the formatting. There will be a person who will actually get the print of the book. Someone will publish it. Okay, so everything that we do is always a team effort, but there is always a one person who is leading the team, who's the leader. Okay, so Guido van Rossum was actually the principal, the main author, the leader author of Python, and he named it after the favorite movie of his, that is Monty Python's Flying Circus. So he named it Python. Okay, so I told you that you can install Python, and I will help you with it also. And the official website name is python.org. Okay, this is the official website, and this is a website from which you can download Python, and you will be assured, you will be sure that the Python that you are downloading is the perfect one, the best one. Okay, so after going to this site, where you have to go, there is the downloads option over this website. And when you click on the downloads option, it will give you automatically the latest current version available. Okay, so try to download the Python version 3.4. At the time I have created this PPT, okay, this 3.4 was working, but now you can see that we have reached up to 3.9. Okay, so just you can ignore this note at the below. Okay, so most of the books that are in market, they are on the version, they use the syntax which is on the version 3.4. Okay, but it is not like there are minor changes. There are minor changes in the syntax. Okay, so if you study through those books, it doesn't mean that those are the old books and you will not be able to implement the code in the new version. No, this is not like this. With every new version, only some errors are removed. The syntax always remains the same. Okay, so a first Python program in script mode. Okay, so I told you already about this, that if you want to write, you can write directly in the shell. Can you see here? This is a shell. Okay, and how you can prove that this is a shell? There is always 3 greater than signs. Okay, so these 3 greater than signs, they actually tell that this is a shell on which you are working. Okay, and you can write anything on it. On the other side, you can also go to file. You can open a new file. You can write your code over there like this: print hello, welcome to Python, print awesome Python, print bye. Okay, and I told you that print is same as cout in C++. Okay, so what do you write? You write the name of the function, which is print. Then you start the parentheses, the round brackets, and in that you can write your message. Okay, so the function name, the inbuilt function names, they are always purple in color, and the message that you will write, it is green in color. Okay, so this color coding scheme is actually helping you to detect the error. Sometimes you may write print spelling as P-I-N-T, pint, by mistake. Okay, if you will write P-I-N-T, the color will not get purple, it will remain black. Okay, it means there is some error in it. So all the inbuilt functions, they are of purple color, and all the strings, all the messages that you will give inside it, that will be of green color. And I also told you one thing, you can give the message in single quotes also. Can you see there are single quotes here? And you can also give the message in double quotes. So both will work. Either choose double quotes to start and end, or choose single quotes to start and end. And one more thing, don't use a mixture. Don't do it like this, that start the message with double quotes and end it with single quote or vice versa. No. If you want to choose double quotes, so starting and ending both with double quotes. If you want to choose single quotes, starting and ending both with single quotes. So here for these three print statements, the messages are in single quotes. Okay, there is also one help function in Python. Okay, so if you know a function, you know this function print already. Now I told you that this function will help you to print a message on the output screen. Okay, suppose you are new to Python and you don't know what is the purpose of print. So there is a help function. So what you will do, you write help, and then inside its brackets you will write print. It means you want to get the help on print function. So by help I mean it will tell you that what is the syntax of print, why we use print, right? So you can get help on anything that you know by name but you don't know the purpose. So you can put that inside the brackets of help and press enter and it will give you the information. So this is a kind of shell. Okay, so here I told you that you can write everything directly like this 2 plus 3. Okay, and also you can write like this print. Okay, and then you can give your message. You can say that Python is easy. Okay, so here I am giving the message in single quotes. Okay, it's an online compiler and sometimes it gets refreshed on its own. That's the only drawback of it. So I will give a simple message Python hi, and when you press enter after writing print hi, I just pressed enter and I got the message displayed here. Okay, so this is one way. Then I told you about help. Okay, so help is also a function. And now I want to get the help about print. I want to check why we use print. What is the need of print? Okay, help, and then you have to write print inside it really quick, otherwise it will get refreshed. Oh, here you get the information about it. Okay, help on built-in function print. So can you see here? It is giving you the information. Print function prints the values to a string. It means it is printing it to the output string. Okay, and then it is also giving you the syntax. This is the complete syntax of print. You write print, then you give a value to it. And then there are so many other functionalities that you can set. But to keep it simple, I am only focusing on print and then what value you want to print. For example, if I want to print a number or I want to print the sum 2 plus 3, so it will give me 5. So it's not that only a message you can print. I can print my name, right? So it will print it for me. Okay, in the next line, it is printing it. Okay, so help feature is used to actually get help on something. Okay, and also in print, you can give the message in double quotes also and also in single quotes. So previously I wrote my name in single quotes. Now I am writing my name in double quotes. So in both cases, you get the output, but you can't use a mixture. So mixture means, okay, while printing, what I do, start it with single quote. Oh my God. Print, start it with single quote and end it with double quote. You will get an error. Okay. So always keep this thing in your mind. Stick to one thing. Stick to one thing. Okay. Make it a habit. Make it a choice that you want to use only double quotes or you want to use single quotes. Okay, so I always prefer double quotes. So all the messages that I write, I always write them in double quotes. Okay, so this is the shell. On the other side, this is a program where you can write more lines also. Print hello world, print I am learning Python. It means this left side is to write long code. Okay, so you first want to write the code and then you want to print it after writing the whole by. Okay, so I have written 3 lines. Okay, and after I press enter, these lines are not running like they were running in the shell. In shell, what happens? You write, you press enter, and it gives you output. But in the main, you can write any number of lines. It will wait until and unless you press run. And when you press run, it will give you the output. Hello world, I am learning Python and Py. So we will start with the basics of Python programming, and I am sure that these things you have learned when you were learning C or C++. Even if you have not learned these things, don't be afraid. I will explain you again. Okay. So first of all, tokens in Python. What do you mean by tokens in Python? Okay. You know that any program, whether that program you write in C, or in Python. Okay. Every program is actually a sequence of instructions. So everything that you write, you know that a program, when you define a program, what is a program? You always say a program is a collection of instructions. Okay. If you were writing int a in C++ or C, that is one instruction. If you write character B, then that is 2 instructions, second instruction. Okay. So a program is actually a sequence of instructions, or you can say it is a collection of instructions, or you can say it is a set of instructions, or you can say it is a combination of instructions. You can go with any message or any definition. Okay. And Python breaks. Here I'm talking about Python, but even C or C++ also breaks each statement into a sequence of lexical components known as tokens. And list of tokens supported by Python are as follows. So what are the different tokens that are being supported? They are keywords, they're reserved words. Okay, reserved words means they are already fixed and their meaning is reserved. You can't use them on your own. Okay, for example, if is a reserved word, it has a fixed purpose. Else is a reserved word. For is a reserved word, right? And if we consider the example, this example, which one are the reserved words? Suppose these set of tokens I am talking about, include is a reserved word. Okay, void is a reserved word, main is a reserved word, clear screen, all these functions, they have their own meaning. Okay, int is also a reserved word because that is being used to declare an integer variable, right? So integers, the integer is a reserved word, all these things, they are reserved word. You can't use them to do something else. After that, there are identifiers. What are identifiers? That will identify you. For example, in your class, every person has its unique roll number, right? That is your identification. Similarly, the variables that you use, they are the identifiers. So your tokens are made of reserved words. I proved it, but your tokens are also made of identifiers. So A is an identifier because it is the name of a variable. If I will declare one more variable here, int b equals to 3, it means b is also a name of a variable. So when it will divide it into tokens, so on, so it will make, there is one a comma equals to comma 2 comma int comma b comma equals to comma 3. So out of these identifiers, out of these tokens, your tokens are also identifiers. Your token is made up of identifiers also. So A and B is an example of identifier. Identifiers are the names that you give to the variables to uniquely identify them. You can't give 2 variables the same names like this. It will give you an error. So the variable names should always be different. Only then it will uniquely identify it. Then there are operators. Operators mean that are used to perform operations like less than, greater than, plus, multiplication, and so on. That are also tokens. For instance, in this example, if I will say, let's do int c equals to a plus b, right? And then I will print c, right? Like this. So when it will generate the token, int will be one token, comma, c will be one token, comma, equals to, comma, a, comma, plus. So plus is an operator, equals to is also an operator. So your tokens are also operators. After that, delimiters. So what are the delimiters? The special symbols. You put colon in your code, you put comma sometimes, you put semicolon at the end of every C++ code. Okay, so these are delimiters. Similarly, there are literals. Literals means the constant values that you give. Anything, any number or any string. For example, 78, 21 or any string like 5. Here, the value 2, it is a literal. 3 is a literal. So the values that you assign, that is known as literal. For example, if I will write char a equals to n. So n is the value of the type character. So it is a literal. So your tokens are keywords, identifiers, operators, delimiters, and literals. And so let's take a simple example that instead of C++, now I will write a simple program. You know that in case of Python, you don't need any hash include or anything. You directly write print and then you write hello and then you write world. Okay, so this is my single line. So this program that I'm creating in Python is also a set of instructions, but it has only one instruction. How many instructions? Only one. Okay, now when you run it, the compiler will divide it into tokens. Let's divide it into tokens. Print will be one token, comma. Left bracket will be another token, double quotes, third token, hello, fourth token, world, fifth token, okay, and then double quotes ended one, then this one. So this single line has how many tokens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. And one rule about Python is there is no need of any semicolon at the end. Semicolons are not required. Okay, and Python is also case sensitive. Case sensitive means you have to write all the things in lower case, in lower ABC. You can't write it in uppercase. We will talk about case sensitivity again. Okay, so here print is a word. It is a keyword. Okay, so these are the delimiters. These brackets. Limiters means they are actually limiting it. You are starting it, you are ending it. Okay, and then these are the special symbols. These are the normal literals, strings. So in Python also your code is made up of tokens. And I told you that for Python there is no need of declaration. You don't need to write int a, int b. But still, if you are creating a is equals to 10, so 10 is an integer. So it supports integers. It supports floating point numbers also. It supports complex numbers also, right? Of the form 1 plus 4 iota, 2 minus 8 iota. It also supports Boolean data type, that is true and false. Boolean data type means it has only two values, on, off, 0, 1, true, false. Okay. It also supports string. You remember in C or C++ there is character that you use, but in case of Python you use string. Strings are of the type. So it means here on the left side there are the data types that it supports, and on the right side there are examples. Okay, string. Hello world is a string. Bye is a string. Okay. Now if you want to check the type of any data, how you can do that? So there is a function type, and in the brackets you give the data. So if to type I am passing hello world, so it will tell me it is the class string. It is a string data type. To type, if I will pass 1 to 3, it will say it is the integer data. If to type, I will pass 3 plus 4j, it will say it is the complex number. Okay. Similarly, you can check. If you will write type 1.24, it will say it is class float. If you will write type and in the brackets, you will write true, true with capital T, it will say it is the Boolean data. Okay. So this way. So the last thing of this PPT is print function. And I told you about print function already. The print function is used to display the contents on the screen. Very simple. Its name is print. Suppose in YY, someone will ask you what is print. So without any hesitation, you can say that it will print. Okay. So it means it is readable and understandable. You are reading it, print, and the thing that comes to your mind, okay, it will print something. Right? So it's not like see out and you have to think, okay, what this see out will do. It is going out. Something is going out. So print is actually giving you the right idea. It is printing something. Okay. What is the syntax? You write print and then in the brackets you can give arguments. You can give string arguments. You can give integer arguments. Here is an example solved for you. Print and then you write in the brackets string. Welcome to Python and it will print it. Then you declare a variable a equals to 10 and you print a. It will print it on the screen for you. Okay, I'm repeating. Print welcome to Python. So it will print it. Now you are taking a variable. You set the value to 10. Now you are printing that variable. It is printing the value which is 10. That's all for today and I hope you enjoyed this class. So keep learning, keep enjoying.